I wrote a script for this video and I didn't like how it turned out, so I'm going to FI the shit out of this and shoot from the hip. It's probably going to be one of my shorter videos because we're talking about emotions, but it's something that I've been thinking about recently, and if it sounds disjointed, it's because I'm talking to you as if I'm talking to a friend. I see a lot of content or posting about the INTJ Doorslam, and most of them just don't feel relatable. And I don't know whether it's because it's created by someone who's not an INTJ or if it's because I'm a healthier version of INTJ, but it just doesn't make sense to me. A lot of them glamorizes the door slam. A lot of people who post about it say they're so happy because they did it. There's no happiness when it comes down to a door slam. You lost someone that used to be part of your FI, someone that at one point in your life, you were like, hey, you have access to this emotion. You have a string to tug if you want to elicit this emotion from me. You know how difficult it is for someone to get to that point? I keep thinking about it, and it's similar to a breakup, but it's worse than a breakup because you can still break up in a relationship and still be friends with someone. But when you're going through a door slam, you want this person to have no access to you, none at all. This person forfeited every access that they have with you, whether it's your emotion, your thoughts, or anything that you do. The only time this person can ever hear about you or hear from you is from a third party, because this is not something that I would consciously want this person to know about me. There are so many emotions that are attached to INTJ Doorslam, and I want to be very, very loud when I say this. I'm sure there are psychological terms or phenomenons or studies that can better explain what I'm going through. But this is how I engage with it myself personally. And if you know a better way to explain this, please put in the comments below so that we can all learn from each other. The thing that irks me the most when it comes down to other content creator talking about the INTJ Doorslam is that they leave out the human aspect of it. They talk about what they did, why it happened, but that's it. What about how it affects the INTJ? What about how it affects the other person? They don't talk about the mental toll it takes on the INTJ for us to be like, wow, this person who is part of the very few humans that we allow in our lives is someone that we're going to erase from existence. It doesn't talk about the amount of energy or time that we put into trying to prevent this from happening, because a door slam itself is a defense mechanism for self-preservation. If we don't do this, we're going to lose part of ourselves. The last thing that I think is crazy when people talk about the INTJ Doorslam is they don't talk about the emotional turmoil that it puts the INTJ through. Similar to every human being out there, we feel emotions all the time, but we don't deal with emotions as often as other types out there. So for an INTJ to have to deal with all these very powerful, strong, negative emotions all at once to determine whether this person that's part of our FI value is going to be eliminated from the annals of history, why would we be happy about that? Something else that doesn't get brought up in the Doorslam conversation is how often we still think about this person. I mentioned this before, and I will continue to mention this. If you are part of our FI value, you are almost there permanently. There are lots of difficult emotions attached with the INTJ Doorslam. Guilt, betrayal, loss of innocence, lack of accountability, helplessness, and one of the worst is paranoia. This person we trusted. Again, trust is very difficult to obtain from an INTJ, and this person obtained it one way or another. And now we have to remove that trust because we will continuously be paranoid engaging with this person. We will continue to be afraid that this person will overstep a boundary that we have vocally expressed, and we're allowing it. We lose ourselves every time that boundary is stepped over. It's not a good feeling losing someone, but it's a worse feeling losing ourselves. As an INTJ who has door slammed pretty frequently in my life, one of the things I keep hearing, especially from extroverted feeling users, is that I'm overreacting. It isn't overreacting. I have vocally established my boundary with this person, and this person consciously ignored it. The key word here is consciously. If they stepped over it by accident, people make mistakes. But when people consciously crosses your boundary because for them, it means nothing, but for you, it's something that you hold dearly, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to allow them to do that? How many times do we have to vocally tell this person that this matters to me for them to understand that this matters? I don't think people understand this, that INTJs, we're very easygoing. If you're part of FI value, we allow you to make plenty of mistakes. We allow you to make fun of us. We know there's no malicious intent to it. But then there are people who habitually cross a line, and whether they think it's comedic or they're trying to be malicious, And it just doesn't sit right with us. I don't understand how anyone could tell someone who has door slammed another person that what they're doing is incorrect. Why would that door slam happen unless that person felt like they were being betrayed? The last thing I want to talk about when it comes down to the door slam is the lack of accountability that the other person typically takes. The door slam seems permanent, but it's really not. If the other person apologizes and take accountability for the action and promises that it won't happen again, why wouldn't we allow this person back into our lives? There are situations where this person's gone forever because they broke something that was huge to our core value. But majority of the time, there's a time limit where the INTJ needs to grieve the relationship because that relationship is gone now. It's never going to be the same. That level of trust will never fully be there anymore. But it can change. If you feel like an INTJ door slammed you, just apologize. Understand that you made a mistake. Understand that they're going through a lot of emotions. And understand that you hurt them in a way that was almost inconceivable to them. In its purest form, it's sad to say that the INTJ believes that their life is better without you in it.